Hey Cancer, welcome to your weekly forecast for March 21st through the 27th. This is for Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We're going to connect here and see what messages are coming up for you all for the week ahead. You might stumble upon the video after the time frame I mentioned. That's just fine. You're going to find it whenever you were meant to find it, whenever it was time to hear the messages that are in it. This is a general reading for the collective. Not every single message is going to resonate, but take what does and leave what doesn't. So without further ado, my dear Cancer friends, let's see what's going on for you guys. One more shuffle here. So the first card that's coming up, let's move you all a little bit closer. First card that's coming up is the Five of Pentacles. This also came up for Capricorn. So some of you could be dealing with a Capricorn because they also got the same card. If you have a Capricorn placement, you may want to be sure to check out the reading for Capricorn for this week because there could be some parallels in there for you. But the Five of Pentacles overall can be a time of uncertainty. And I'm getting a little bit of a different vibe from this card for Cancer than I did for Capricorn. For Capricorn, I felt like they just really needed to clean house with a lot of people in their life and go out there into the world and meet new people and make new friends, higher vibrational friends. And for some reason, I feel like a lot of you Cancers have already done that. I feel like a lot of the Cancers that are going to be watching this video, you've already cleaned house in that way. But I feel like the Five of Pentacles for you all is more so along the lines of maneuvering through uncertain times. And I feel like a lot of you have some really big dreams and really big visions and things that you're wanting to accomplish, that you're wanting to invest in right now. And you're feeling discouraged and you're kind of beating yourself up because you feel like it's not happening fast enough, or you're in a hurry, like to cross this finish line. And I feel like the Five of Pentacles is coming up for Cancer to say, look, you need to take into consideration that these are uncertain times right now. And so accomplishing certain goals financially or getting certain things done right now might take a little bit longer than usual because of circumstances that are outside of your hands. And you need to give yourself credit. You need to stop beating yourself up so hard, because a lot of the situation is a matter of timing because of the current world scene, the current world situation. It's of no fault of your own. So I feel like the Five of Pentacles is coming up for Cancer to say, like, these things are going to happen for you. They're just taking a little bit of time because of the time period we're living in right now. And that's not your fault. In the meantime, a lot of you are going to be finding or coming across people that really relate with you, that can really understand how you feel. They're feeling the same way. They're going through the same things. They have your back, right? They're right in there with you. And they want you to know that they understand you. They're there for you. I feel like some of you are finding yourself being taken in by a certain community or a certain group of people, and you're feeling like you're aligning with soul family. You're feeling like, you know, this is my kind of people, this is my kind of place. Even if it's an online community for some of you. But even if it's an online community for some of you, I do feel like you're going to have a chance to meet people in person and establish those friendships and those connections in person as well. The next card that's coming up here for Cancer is the Two of Swords. Now, the Two of Swords is a card that can come up when we are at a bit of an impasse. We don't want to do something, but Spirit is showing us red flags and signs and the writing on the wall, so to speak. but we might be afraid to take action. We might be afraid to take steps moving forward. So, the Two of Swords, some of you have heard me say this in other readings. The Two of Swords, a lot of the times, comes up for me in my readings when Spirit is trying to say, look, we're giving you messages. We're trying to move you along right now, and we're showing you the writing on the wall, so to speak. We're showing you the red flags, but you're not taking action, and we're running out of time. So if you don't take action, we're going to have to step in with a tower moment. Keep in mind the tower moment is not to punish anybody. When Spirit intervenes and gives us a tower moment, it's like a cosmic prison break. It's coming in to free us from a situation that has us stuck, that has us trapped. A lot of the times we're stuck and we're trapped because of our own fear. We're afraid to come out of it. So Spirit will come in and bust us out of it, right? That's why sometimes call it the cosmic prison break. But the situation here with the Two of Swords, I feel for Cancer, the vibe and the energy that I'm getting in this week's reading, I feel like some of you are realizing that things might be going downhill in your work or in the company you work for, or you may know that you're going to be receiving some kind of payouts or some kind of assistance, like some kind of income coming in for you. Maybe some of you are at the end of the disability process and you know that checks are going to be coming in soon, or something along those lines. But I feel like a lot of you are realizing that there's a very high cost of living, and a lot of you are not leaving this job because you're hoping that they'll go out of business, or they'll file bankruptcy, or whatever it might be, and that they might give everybody a severance. They might give everybody a severance, or you may be able to apply for unemployment. And you're like, gosh, I'm just writing this out because I want that severance check, and then I'm going to take time off. Or I want my unemployment, and then I'm going to take some time off. Or I'm just gonna let those checks come in, the assistance or the disability. But I feel like because of the economy, like Spirit is telling some of you, like, this is not gonna last you as long as you think it's gonna last you. It's not going to go as far as you think it's going to go. So this is the time to start thinking about what you can do. This it might not be the best idea for you to wait for a company to close its doors to get that severance or to get that unemployment, because you might realize it was not really worth it. It's not going to be enough to cover for however long you're going to end up needing it. Or you might have assistance coming in or disability checks coming in, but they're not going to be enough to cover the ends consistently. And so this could be a good idea for you to think, okay, for those of you who are able to work, those of you who aren't disabled, this is a good time for you to update the resume and start looking for another job. Because if you're waiting for the severance or the disability, not disability, the severance or the unemployment, it's not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. Okay? Or you have a supervisor that keeps reassuring you everything is okay, everything is fine. You're the most important person there. They would never let you go. They need you so bad. But they're just saying that because they need you right now. They might already know when your last day is going to be. And they're not telling you because they need to make sure that you're there up until the last day. Because the poop is going to really hit the fan if you leave before then. So they might be saying whatever they need to say to keep you there for as long as they need you. If something doesn't seem right, if something feels off, pay attention to that feeling. Don't go by what somebody else is telling you. If you are in a situation where you're going to be having disability coming in, obviously if you're on disability, you can't just go and get a job, right? That defeats the purpose of disability, and you probably can't do that. But is there something you can do? Can you look into investing? Can you look into ways of putting your money and certain types of accounts that are going to accrue interest, or certain kinds of investments that maybe you can make that are going to allow you to receive shares back, or something more immediate by way of, do you have some skills or some hobbies that you're able to do with your physical capacity that you can use as a supplemental income? A lot of the times, even if you're on disability, there might be certain things that you're able to do as long as you don't reach a certain level or certain amount of money. The laws are different in different places, so you may want to check with somebody about that and figure out what the laws and the rules are where you are. Okay. But you might be able to find some way to supplement your income, even though you might be in the situation of where you're receiving disability. Okay. And maybe for some of you, it can be something very fun or something very creative where you're doing something on like an Etsy shop or something. But Spirit is saying, don't wait until the last minute. Don't wait until the last minute. Some of you are in a situation that you're staying there because you need to be there financially. It might be a toxic relationship. It might be some place where you're being treated very poorly or very badly, but you're putting up with it because you feel like you need that help, or you can't afford to be out there on your own, or you don't want to have to go check into a shelter. If you're in that situation, the Two of Swords is giving me the feeling and the sense, coming here with the Five of Pentacles, that this may be inevitable. You may find yourself really having to leave because it's getting so bad, where you're like, I really need to leave now or something really bad is going to happen. You might feel like it's a very dangerous situation. This person may tell you to get out, and you find yourself having to all of a sudden be scurrying around trying to figure out what resources are available to me. Where can I go? Is there anybody who can take me in? Are there any shelters available? Are there any places that can help me? Organizations, churches? Don't wait until the last minute if you're in a toxic situation like that. Start looking now. Don't wait for the tower moment. The next card that's coming up here for Cancer is the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups can be somebody resurfacing from the past. I know a lot of you are sick and tired of hearing that. I know a lot of you already are coming for me in the comments. I'm sick and tired of all of you tarot readers saying somebody's coming back from the past. I'm done with that person. I don't want to see them. I'm not interested. That's all you guys ever talk about. Okay, it doesn't have to be a romantic situation. It could be a friendship. It could be somebody you're estranged with from your family. It could be a parent that maybe just kind of bounced and disappeared for a while, and now all of a sudden they're wanting to make amends. It doesn't have to be somebody coming back romantically, but there could be people from your past reaching out. If there are people from your past reaching out, regardless of whether it's romantic or old coworkers or old friends, they're reaching out because there's something from that time in your life or something about that person where you need to process and release and heal something. So it's not coming up for you because Spirit is saying this is the person or the people or the situation that you're meant to be enmeshed with for the rest of your life, but rather there's some unfinished business here, or there's something to process. So if some of you are really done with somebody and that person resurfaces, this is your chance and this is your opportunity to say all the things that you didn't get to say, to tell them to their face, or to tell them over the phone, or to tell them via text how very done with them you are. Because they might need to hear it. That might be a part of their lesson. You snooze, you lose. You have a good person in your life, whether it's romantic, whether it's family, whatever it might be. You can't just treat that connection any old way and expect for it to still be there for you when you decide you want to come back sometime. That's a painful lesson to learn. But some of you Cancers are going to be teaching somebody that lesson. You don't get to have it both ways. You don't get to just disappear or behave irresponsibly and then all of a sudden realize what you had, and it's still going to be there when you come back. That's not how it works. And that's a painful life lesson that some people are having to learn, that you have to treat people right. You have to treat loyalty and affection right. You don't just come back in and it's always there. Six of Cups also can be connecting with the inner child. Some of you may be really taking a trip down memory lane right now, and it might be inspiring you into giving you ideas around some kind of creative project, opportunity, or self employment possibility. There may be inspiration coming in through the inner child. Some of you are coming into a time where you're going to have a lot of downtime, you're going to have a lot of free time. Maybe you already did get laid off. Maybe your company already did go out of business and you're like, you know what, Amethyst, it would have been really nice if you would have told me this a couple of weeks ago, because that already happened. Some of you may already be in a situation where you have this time off, or you have this free time, and your mind might really be going through the past. Understand and know that the memories that are coming up so that these are things you can process and that you can release, so that you don't hold on to them. They don't affect your self-esteem or make you feel discouraged or make you feel unattractive or however it makes you feel. A lot of you are remembering the exact moments in your childhood in which you developed false beliefs. And now you're like, oh, okay, that's the moment that I developed a false belief. That's the moment that I developed an unhealthy defense mechanism. And you're able to release it and not hold on to it anymore. I do feel like there will be happy memories as well. But the thing about the Six of Cups is it comes up to remind us not to spend too much time in the past, or try to take breaks from those daydreams or those memories and try to come back to the present moment from time to time. Because if we get mentally stuck in the past, or we're spending too much time in the past mentally, we begin to develop depression. And some of you might say, well, I don't know if I want to use the word depression, and I'll tell you why. Because depression can be a clinical diagnosis, and I'm not a psychologist, right? I cannot accurately say somebody is depressed. I cannot accurately say somebody is a narcissist because I don't have a psychology degree, and I'm not qualified to diagnose anybody with anything. So, but you might be using the word depressed. You might be saying, "Oh, I'm feeling really depressed lately," even if you haven't been diagnosed with that. Whatever the case, being in the past too much mentally might cause us great sadness, and we may be feeling a hard time breaking out of that sadness. And you might be asking yourself, "How can I shake this sadness?" If you can be mentally present and mentally aware of your thoughts, you might realize that there's a lot of things from the past that you keep replaying in your head. You might catch yourself mentally in the past a lot if you've been feeling sad. Or if you have anxiety or too much in the future, thinking about what might go wrong in the future or what might happen in the future. But when we're in the present moment and we're focusing in the present moment and we're in the here and now, it can give us a breath of fresh air. It can help us not be in the sadness or not be in the stress and worry or anxiety. So sometimes the Six of Cups comes up to say, look, things happen the way they happen for a reason. And you are meant to be where you are right now. Come back into the present moment. Allow yourself to process the memories that are coming up, but make sure you're making time to come back into the present moment as well. Don't get lost in the past. The next card here is the Seven of Cups. And the Seven of Cups can be a dream come true. It can be a lot of opportunities and us not being sure which ones to focus on or which ones to pursue. And I've given this example before, to write it down and to daydream. Imagine yourself doing each one of these different ideas or possibilities, seeing which ones make you feel the happiest, and then doing your research. What do I have to do to make this happen? If you do that, you have a nice little long-term plan. You know now which ones you can do right now, which ones are in reach right now, and which ones are going to be long-term goals that you're going to build up to. But the beautiful thing is you won't feel stuck anymore. You won't feel uncertain anymore. Seven of Cups can also come up with the sense or the feeling of um like feeling, as I said, like feeling like we're dreaming or something is a dream come true. So through this sadness and uncertainty, some of you are having an epiphany that you're like, oh my gosh, this is the answer. Could it really have been so simple? Why didn't I see this before? Don't beat yourself up for not seeing it before. It came to you when you were ready for it. But I feel like some of you are coming up with a solution that you're like, this is too easy, or this is too simple. You're feeling a big burden being moved from your shoulders as you're pursuing this idea or this inspiration that's coming your way. The next card that's coming up here for Cancer is the Justice card, and this is a major arcana card. Now, the major arcana cards are going to come up anytime that we're like at a significant new chapter in our life. It's a defining moment, and the situations that we're dealing with are directly connected with what we came here to learn, what we came here to master, what we came here to accomplish. So there's significant energies. The Justice card is also balancing our head and our heart. And some of you Cancers have struggled with this. You're like, when I try to make practical, logical decisions, I'm miserable. When I listen to my heart, I get burned. I can't win either way. And the Justice card is balancing the heart and the mind. It's listening to your heart and following your heart, but following your heart with a clear and logical plan. Thinking ahead. How can I set myself up to succeed? How can I set myself up so that these things are possible? How can I make these things happen? So with the Seven of Swords, I keep saying Seven of Swords. Or I keep wanting to say Seven of Swords. You're going to have to be quiet about something. You're going to have to be tight-lipped about something. Which makes sense that I said that because there was another message that I was coming into telling you. The Justice card can sometimes come up in a situation where we're being called to stand up for ourselves and stand up to have our rights enforced. So maybe some of you were let go from a job, or some of you were denied help that you needed, or an accommodation that you needed, or you may have been discriminated against in some way. And it's putting you out there. You're feeling like kind of left out there in the cold. And maybe a lot of you wouldn't pursue it legally, but this situation has put you in such a bad spot or in such uncertain times that you're like, I have no choice. I have no choice but to pursue this legally and hopefully get some kind of reimbursement or get some kind of judgment or award. I do see the Justice card sometimes come up when Spirit is saying, look, you have grounds here. Your rights were violated. And you need to go to an attorney and get some advice. You need to have somebody who knows how the law works take this to court for you. And for you, there could be a life lesson here in like standing up for yourself. I don't deserve that. That's not okay. That's not right. You can't get away with violating my rights. So some of you are in a situation where you're having to take a civil matter against someone. And some of you are like, well, I'm only doing it because I just can't seem to get any of the other doors to open. And I really need income right now. And you might feel like the universe is working against you and locking the doors. And they may be doing that because you're being pushed to stand up for yourself. To say, I don't deserve this. I don't deserve to be in this difficult situation. I didn't do anything wrong. So some of you are having to stand up for yourself. Now, I'm not a lawyer. I can't tell people whether or not they have a case. And I don't do private readings around court cases or the outcome of a case. I don't give legal advice. But a lot of you, you know if that resonates with you. You've been suspicious. You think something's not right. You think that some things are being done in a shady way. You need to go talk to a lawyer and say, this is my situation. You need to go get a consultation. If you have a Libra placement, there can be big changes and big shifts happening for you in those areas of your life or in those houses as well. You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign and rising sign are going to resonate more than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you go to calendly.com/amethystangelite, you can schedule a private reading with me there. There's the link in the description. Link for love readings is in the description. And don't forget the card of the day as well that I've been doing. A lot of people have found the daily messages helpful. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a wonderful week ahead and hope to see you all in the daily comments as well. Take care and be well, Cancer.